supposed to be planted on the edge of the driveway that, in the grand scheme of things, really serve no purpose at this point. So they didn't put them in. I can understand why they didn't, but I did have them update the as-built to reflect that those were not planted. But I don't think it's worthwhile to have them plant them. It's close to the roadway. There's a lot of blueberry bushes there because of the wetland replication in the basin. So I think it's fine to go without that. There were a few erosion rills on the back hill. I'll take a swing back through in the spring. Some of the trees look a little sketchy, but it was a really tough year for anyone to grow anything. So all in all, I think they've done a really good job down there, and
Great.
close out that permit.
Wonderful. Very good.
So Gene, any of those trees that don't survive in the spring, they'll
Yep.
have those replaced, you
Yes,
think?
yeah. As they said, well, they're under warranty, we'd want to do that anyway,
Exactly,
so.
exactly.
Yeah,
Just
so,
making sure. I
yeah.
figured that's what the deal
But
was.
they did a really nice job, and then even in the parking lot, they put kind of like a bus shelter, so if their employees wanted to go outside and take a break and the weather wasn't good, they at least have a place under cover. So I thought that was nice, you know. Want me to keep going? I'm sorry, I didn't see what time it is. So the next meeting is December 13th, and we will hold the public hearing for interstate towing that evening. Talk about that a little more when we get there. And then the next meeting after that will be January 10th, and that will be Blueberry Hill Estates. I do have some, I don't think I can get through the flood revision. Well, maybe I could get through the flood revision. So you'll recall that last year we amended the floodplain bylaw in accordance with the new state model bylaw, and they had sent preliminary flood maps to the town. And I've been doing outreach on that, working with residents. We submitted for some map changes with FEMA. Well, the revised map should be coming out hopefully in January, and we will need to hold a hearing and amend the floodplain bylaw to include the new date of the new firm maps. And then although they didn't recommend it last year, they're recommending we change 3 more paragraphs to be more consistent with the model bylaw and to take out the addresses of the waterways program because they're moving. So once I get a date, you'll be able to vote to start the public hearing process, and so we'll get that done for annual town meeting. If we don't get it done, we're at risk of not being able to participate in the flood insurance program, which I think would be a real detriment to a lot of property owners in town. So what I'm going to do is get this all ready, so even if I'm out on medical leave when it comes in, somebody could maybe just help Janae get the dates in, and then she'd be all set to advertise, and you could hold the hearing on that. So I did, Janae just gave it to you this evening. There's just kind of an annotated version showing where the changes have to be made. And then there's another 2-page handout with my scribble on it, showing the 3 paragraphs that have to be replaced in the bylaw. So very minor changes, but very important to anyone that has flood insurance.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Jane, for all the work you put into this. I know that it's kind of...
It's been a bear. Yes, it's been a bear. Not my favorite subject.
Great. So any other questions on that for now? We're all set, I think, on, we're going to go with that? Okay, great. Very good. Okay, so we have the continuation of the public hearing for Blueberry Hills Estates for the site plan and special permit. Jane, do you want to explain what's happening there?
Yes, so actually the applicant requested to withdraw their application that was before the Conservation Commission. As many of you know, sadly, Mr. Barnacle passed away a couple of weeks ago, and they had another member that moved out of town. So they've requested to withdraw, and they will refile so that the 3 remaining members can act on the application. One of the other members had missed more than one that you can miss under the Mullen Rule, so there weren't enough remaining members to act on that application, and a new board member coming in cannot act on something that started prior to them joining the commission. So they're expecting to file in the next week or so, hopefully to be on the first December meeting. We have continued to complete our peer review. John Shevlin's been working with them on the stormwater questions that came up on the last go-round. And I think that if nothing drastic changes with the Conservation Commission, I would expect that at January 10th, I would be ready to recommend that you approve the project with conditions, if we can resolve the outstanding issues between conservation and the stormwater, which I think it's quite close.
Good, that's great.
So I would recommend this evening that you vote to continue the public hearing to January 10th, 2023 at 6:35 PM. And Janae did send out a notice to everybody. We need everybody present. So if anything changes, let us know as soon as you possibly can. We'd still have to call it to order that evening, but would need to continue it again, so. And I know Michael so far is good with that
Okay,
date,
great.
so we're hoping he doesn't get shipped out for work. And Jeff, we're hoping you're here too for the.
I'll be here.
Okay, great. And we still do have the remote option through March now anyway, so.
Very good. Okay, do we have a motion then to continue the public hearing until January 10th at 6:35 PM?
So moved.
Yeah, any
Second.
All in favor? Very good.
Okay. And then unfortunately, Interstate Towing at 698 Main Street, I was contacted by an abutter this morning, and she was curious why she did not receive a public hearing notice for the planning board hearing, but she received one for the Conservation Commission hearing. So I thought maybe it had just got lost in the mail, so I was at a meeting, so I asked Janae to follow up with the applicant, his representative, and unfortunately, it was just an oversight on their part. They sent out the conservation one, and they didn't put in the planning board notice. So unfortunately, we cannot hold this hearing tonight because there was not proper notice. Janae was able to quickly turn it around, get it back into the newspaper today, so we will hold the hearing on December 13th, and they will notify the abutters, so it's unfortunate, but we were planning to continue after this evening to December 13th to allow conservation to open the hearing, so I would expect on December 13th, we'll probably just be able to conclude that hearing. So nothing glaring has jumped out during staff or peer review as of right now.
Very good.
So,
Great, thank you. Any questions on that, or everyone all set?
Nope.
Great. Okay, next we have the request for a waiver of site plan.
John, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Ernesto?
Yes.
Come on up.
We increased the volume.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like there's an echo in there, too.
I don't know if it's not coming through the.
It's not coming through the
Hold on,
speaker.
let me.
Here it goes.
John, can you say something, just a test?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
That's better.
Yeah, much better.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Good?
Okay.
All right, so this evening we have John Stralka and Ernesto, I'm so sorry,
Leon,
Leon,
yes.
here for the 178 Main Street project, and this is for the restaurant use with the outdoor patio area. You'll recall at the August meeting, you approved the change for the mix of tenants to allow the restaurant use. However, since there was an outdoor patio proposed, we needed to do the waiver of site plan so that you could look at the outdoor patio details. The plans have been submitted, and either John or Ernesto will take you through those plans, and has been reviewed by staff. No real concerns were noted. They are proposing to have the bollards as required for the outdoor alcohol service as well. So I would recommend that you approve the waiver, but I'll let John take you through the plan.
Very good, thank you.
Sure. Everybody hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so basically, what we're looking at is we're looking at about a 6,300 square foot use of the end cap space of the former J.C. Penney, which takes into account this area, which is we built as kind of a shell space. and then takes into account kind of the former storage area of the JCPenney in a catalog space in the rear. And what we're looking at is approximately about 850, 900 square feet of patio space, which is currently under the covered area there, which is a little bit hard to see in this photo, but it's kind of the northwest part of the property. What we're looking at to do is to take, and we went through this with the DRC today, to take this covered area and modernize it to match the rest of the property. And the interior of the space would obviously be done separately through architectural, the building department. But the patio would be facing kind of the northwest area of the property. It would encompass bollards, like we had discussed at the previous waiver of site plan, and would have these planters put there as well. Would have about 32 seats on the outside, and would look something like this in terms of the floor plan and layout. So overall, the site would have about 150 total seats, including interior and exterior and bar as well. And I think it's pretty creative, adaptive reuse of the space that would be kind of difficult to use from a retail perspective, but perfect for restaurant space. Additionally, there will be some improvements along the north side facing north side of the property, which are kind of highlighted here. There's existing windows that are up a little bit higher. We would probably bring down some windows here with some spandrel glass, bring some light into the space. And then the patio would have some wood elements to it, which you really can't see from the front of the property, but would be kind of a neat addition for the warm weather months to have some nice outdoor seating back there. So doesn't change anything in terms of parking requirements, parking counts that we went through the prior waiver on, and we feel it's a great use of the space. Bring a great operator to the town as well. So I'll turn it over to Roberto, and maybe Roberto can kind of discuss his business and what he foresees here.
Yes, thank you, John. Yeah, just as far as he did a pretty thorough job of explaining the use and the outdoor space, and like he was saying, those wood elements in the patio. It's pretty much decorative, and you don't really see it from even the parking lot. And as far as the enclosing it, we would use the like I said, the bollards, concrete barriers between any driving areas and parking spots. But yeah, that's pretty much the general concept of the outdoor design.
Looks very good. Great. Some questions?
Thank you.
Any questions?
No questions.
I do. Is there going to be some kind of covering over the patio? Is it open?
It does. It's existing, so we're kind of taking advantage of that. That's already there.
Good.
Just finishing to match, modernizing it and matching the rest of the structure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very good. Any other comments or questions? If not, I think we're ready for a vote to waive site plan.
So moved?
Go ahead, Jean.
Waive site plan with 5 conditions as noted on
Yep.
page 2 of my report. And those are just the standard ones about in conformance with the plans, all state and local zoning bylaws, building codes and regulations must be adhered to, all other necessary permits must be obtained prior to start of construction. Site shall be kept neat and orderly condition throughout construction, and an emergency contact list with 2 names and numbers on it, be supplied to the Sturbridge Police Department to be used by dispatchers in case of an emergency.
Very good. Okay, so we have the motion. We have a second.
Second?
Any other discussion? All in favor? Very good. Congratulations. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Forward. Thank you very much.
Do you know when you're gonna look at opening?
We're probably, ideally, I guess it'd be springtime or so. Yeah, depending on how, construction always is, can get,
At the mercy of men?
Yeah, yeah.
What kind of restaurant is it?
it's a Mexican restaurant? Yeah.
Yeah. Now, is this about the same size as your other restaurant? In the-
This one would probably be on the bigger end. I mean, we work with different spacing depending on the space that we work with. We've worked with something as small as 1,500 square feet and here in Massachusetts in Southborough, and our biggest one, I believe, is our store in Smithfield, Rhode Island, which is about 4,600 square feet.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
great.
you. We do as well.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ernesto.
Good evening.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Take care.
You too.
All right, Jean, do you have anything else for your update? I think you're all set.
No, that's all I have.
Okay.
Did I black out or something? What's this going on with the fix?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I did not talk about that. Thank you. I forgot. I put that on my report. So they have decided that they are not able to build here. So they said because of, significant delays through, well, as it says, I kind of copied this right from an email that Mr. Covino sent me, but he said due to significant delays throughout the first, second, and third quarters of this year, while the landowner needed to complete due diligence in order to lease the land to them unencumbered, they suffered significant delays. And during those delays, they were subject to large increases in budget and lead time for equipment, mechanicals, and new electric. And as a result, the economics of the project became prohibitive. So,
Is this over where Panera?
yes,
That little area? Okay.
yes.
Yeah, beyond it, not the little area there. This
No,
is
no, yeah,
spot
the-
where the
The
bank
new
was gonna
building
go.
that was going
They-
to be built.
They had done
Clearing.
some demolition.
They
They
did.
did a lot.
They did a lot, they
They
did a lot of some
Yeah,
of
they
the site work,
did.
but
Big
then,
site work.
That's too
Yeah.
bad.
It is.
So I
It's
guess
really
at,
too bad.
at the end of the day, the cost went up too much and the property owner couldn't bring the cost down low enough because of course he's invested in that as well. So they were just unable to make it work economically, which is too bad. I think it was a beautiful building and would have been a great addition. He said he would hope that he could come back in the future with a project in Sturbridge, but unfortunately,
Do we know if any of those encumbrances have been cleared for the future?
everything's all set. So the last thing was that the plan that needed to be signed, the A&R that went into the registry, was recorded and obviously too faint. And then I was able to contact the supervisor and they rescanned it, and so now it's in the registry and you can see all the lines. So that was like the last remaining piece that his lender needed, but it's just, in getting to that process,
Costs have gone up a little bit.
costs have gone up
yeah,
quite a
quite a
bit, exactly, so.
All right.
And then, so he said he also had to think about the long-term viability of the restaurant. And as we know, there are a lot of restaurants in town that don't have enough help to be open full-time. They're on very limited hours, so I think it was probably just the perfect storm of a lot of bad things happening at the same time.
Well, it's too bad.
Which is
I was excited to see
unfortunate.
something go in that spot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
They really put a lot of thought into the design of the building as well, so all in all, it's a shame. So no, you didn't nod off. Thank you for
Okay.
reminding me. That was on that page.
Very good. Okay, any old or new business, Dane?
No.
False, I think.
Jeff? Nothing. Okay, motion to adjourn?
Motions. So moved.
All in favor?
Bye.
Great. Thank you all. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you, Gene, you too.